Donald Trump's inauguration gave us plenty to talk about. Some moments were downright funny, others had everyone scratching their heads. And let's just say the Trump clan didn't hold back from grabbing the spotlight. Let's break it all down. Let's start with Barron Trump, rarely seen, but always the center of attention whenever he appears. Donald introduced him to the crowd at Capitol Hill, drawing plenty of cheers.
A very tall son named Barron. Has anyone ever heard of him?
Then came Barron's wave, a casual gesture paired with a calm smile that instantly went viral. It was such a simple moment, yet it took the internet by storm. And of course, Donald couldn't miss the chance to hype up Barron's contribution to his campaign.
He knew the youth vote. You know, we won the youth vote by 36 points. And he was saying, Dad, you got to go out and do this one and that one. And we did a lot of them.
Looks like Barron might have been running the show behind the scenes. But let's not forget Melania. Did you see that grin? It might have been the biggest, most genuine smile we've ever seen from her. Talk about a proud mom moment. Now, onto that handshake. At the ceremony, Barron greeted both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. But it was his brief exchange with Biden that set the internet on fire. Some swore Barron muttered, "You're done," to Biden, while others claimed he just leaned in to reply politely. Lip readers got involved, suggesting Biden said, "It's good to see you, man." And Barron coolly replied, "Exactly." Well, whatever was said, it definitely left Biden looking a little puzzled. Also, Barron's stoic energy was in sharp contrast to Elon Musk's energetic reactions. While Musk was practically bouncing with excitement, cheering and clapping as if he were at a concert, Barron stood nearby, looking almost emotionless, like he was staring into the void and waiting for the event to finally be over. The difference in their energy was both hilarious and unforgettable. And let's not forget Barron's little brother moment. While he looked solemn throughout most of the ceremony, one moment had everyone talking. A hilarious video where he crashed a group photo of Ivanka and Tiffany Trump.
That's the best. Okay, that's better.
Classic youngest sibling energy, right? Always finding a way to steal the spotlight. And if that wasn't enough, a viral post edited his photo to make him look ridiculously tall, sparking endless memes. Poor kid just can't catch a break.
Barron Trump is a remarkably tall individual, so it's interesting that he walks with his head leaning forward a little bit because it shows that he's not trying to look as tall as humanly possible.
But just as quickly as Barron appeared, he disappeared. He skipped all of his dad's inaugural balls, leaving people wondering why he was a no-show. Maybe all the attention was a bit much. Meanwhile, the Trump family had a new breakout star, Kai Trump.
I love this little Smurf so much, and I'm so proud of her.
Donald's 17-year-old granddaughter stole the show with her behind-the-scenes vlog of the big day.
Today, my grandpa becomes the president of the United States again.
From getting her hair and makeup done to admitting she was running on 3 hours of sleep and a ton of energy drinks, Kai gave us a refreshingly real look at Inauguration Day.
How many hours did you sleep last night?
4 hours. I'm cooked. Kai's cooked.
Yeah, I like your hair straight like that. It looks really nice. Thanks, Ella. You're welcome, Kai.
Yeah, I like your hair like that too. It looks really nice.
But of course, Trump himself didn't avoid controversy. Some people noticed that President Donald Trump didn't place his hand on the Bible during the swearing-in ceremony, which sparked a bit of buzz. While it's a tradition for presidents to do so, it's not actually a legal requirement. It does make you wonder, though, why did he decide to skip that tradition this time around? And then there's Melania, who completely stole the show. Social media didn't hold back, comparing her look to everything from Zorro to the Hamburglar.
After this, we're gonna play Who Wore It Better, me, Melania, or the Hamburglar.
And, of course, she pulled her classic move, dodging her husband's kiss. Is it even a Trump event without one of those moments? Then there was Mark Zuckerberg, whose wandering eyes couldn't escape the internet's notice. It seems Lauren Sanchez managed to distract him for a moment, and probably made Priscilla Chan roll her eyes. The viral moment just got juicier. Less than 24 hours after, the Meta CEO has been busted liking one of her sultry Instagram snaps. The photo, taken at the Starlight Ball where Sanchez dazzled in a peach Dolce & Gabbana gown, sent the internet into a frenzy, with fans roasting Zuck for his not-so-subtle double tap. And let's not forget the meme-worthy reactions of George W. Bush. Whether it was his hilariously confused expressions during Trump's speech or that iconic laugh at Obama's joke, the internet couldn't get enough. It was like Bush was starring in his own comedy sketch. To make it even better, a lip reader suggested that Obama leaned over and asked Bush how they could stop what's happening during Trump's inauguration, which apparently was all it took to send Bush into a fit of laughter. Classic Obama charm. But the most jaw-dropping moment? Elon Musk's Roman salute.
My heart goes out to you.
The internet exploded, comparing it to a salute used by a certain infamous German party. While some were quick to defend it as a nod to ancient Rome, history tells a slightly different story. The gesture actually traces back to Jacques-Louis David's painting, The Oath of the Hirashi, 1784, and was later adopted by some rather infamous regimes, not exactly the Roman Empire. Whatever Musk's intent, the implications of such a gesture are hard to ignore and carry weight that's impossible to justify. And as if that wasn't enough, people on the internet also noticed some strange facial expressions from Musk during the inauguration. Many couldn't help but wonder whether something was altering his usual demeanor. Moving on to Carrie Underwood's performance. Oh boy, this one didn't go as planned. Technical difficulties left her standing in awkward silence for almost 2 minutes before she had to sing America the Beautiful a cappella. Kamala Harris's reaction in the background? Priceless. But what really got people buzzing was Carrie's post-performance snub. She shook hands with Biden, Trump, and new VP J.D. Vance, but skipped over Kamala Harris, who was standing right there. Awkward much? Twitter lit up, calling out the disconnect between her unity message and her actions. Sure, maybe she was flustered, but not exactly her best moment. Speaking of Kamala, her husband, Doug Emhoff, had a standout moment too. When J.D. Vance got a little ahead of himself, Doug politely told him to wait. Now that's chivalry in action. And then there was Hillary Clinton, who couldn't help but laugh during Trump's speech.
A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will restore the name of a great president.
Meanwhile, Kamala Harris's poker face in response said it all. She's probably already over it. Now, it seems awkward moments follow Trump wherever he goes. Take, for example, Sharpie Gate. As Hurricane Dorian was approaching the U.S., Trump tweeted that South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama would be affected. This apparently caught guys in Alabama off guard, leading them to prepare for the worst. But the National Hurricane Center jumped in with a tweet clarifying that Alabama will not see any impacts from Dorian. Talk about a whoops moment. But Trump wasn't ready to concede defeat just yet. 3 days later, he gathered reporters in the Oval Office, proudly holding up an NHC map that had mysteriously been altered with a Sharpie to include Alabama. As reporters looked on in confusion, Trump pointed to the map like it was a masterpiece of art.
And you see it was going to hit not only Florida, but Georgia. It could have was going toward the Gulf. That was what was originally projected.
And he didn't flinch when the Sharpie incident came up at a press conference.
Sorry, and that map that you showed us today looked like it almost had like a Sharpie.
I don't know.
And thus, Sharpie Gate went down in the annals of history. And let's not forget Hurricane Florence, which Trump described with a uniquely poetic flair that had everyone scratching their heads.
This is a tough hurricane, one of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water.
As this video comes to a close, I want to hear from you. What moment from Trump's inauguration stood out to you the most? And while we're at it, what's the funniest Trump moment you've ever seen? Let me know in the comments.